I got your contact information. I'm trying to reach the streamer arrow pointing at excitingstuff.jpg. Is that
Hey
your Twitch channel?
guys,
Yeah.
welcome to another stream. This is arrow pointing at excitingthing.jpg, and I'm here to talk to you about some Legends of Runeterra content. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Runeterrable Radio. I am arrow pointing at excitingthing.jpg, aka the Bleffins. Joining me, as always, is Saucy Mailman. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? I just changed my name. I did go by Saucy Mailman, but now I go by arrow pointing at our guest Mo, who's here hanging out with us. What's up, dude? That's the full name, by the way. So if you could refer to me by my legal name, that'd be great.
Yeah, if
my name is Mo.
If everyone could just refer to us by our legal names now, that would be great.
Yep.
But oh man, we have had a wacky pre-show, and it's been great. Only partially caused by technical blips and whatnot, but also just having some fun, chilling out, chillaxing.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. We've been away for some stuff. We've got a lot of things coming up. We've got a lot of prep we've been doing for cool stuff we'll be talking about.
Cool stuff.
It's been a wild couple of weeks, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to flex your voices. I can't do that. What's that?
Well, and then well, I mean, here's the other thing. We've got Mo, of course, Emotional on Twitch, Mr. Emotional on Twitter. I think I have those ones right. I don't know. You're one of those people that has like 15 different names across things.
Yeah.
At least you don't have X's in your name.
The only people that can follow me are the ones that really care.
I
don't want like fake followers. Like I need
That's
you
true.
to
None
know
of your
every
videos have
single
arrows in them. That's why.
Yeah, none of my videos have arrows in them. I do shit the hard way.
If someone doesn't know your birth city and like the model of your first car, they don't deserve to follow you.
It's true.
If you didn't buy my first car, if you didn't buy me a car, you're not my friend.
Mo,
if you don't buy Mo a car, unfollow.
Mo's channel is so secure. How secure is it? Hold on, I can do that better. Hold on. Mo.
Oh no. He's been waiting all week. I feel.
Mo's channel is so secure. How secure is it? It's so secure that that hitting the follow button requires you to do a CAPTCHA code.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That was a lot of setup for absolutely no punchline whatsoever.
It wasn't even a joke.
That's the worst. That's just facts.
Yeah,
that's facts on God, right?
That is just facts there. But I'm reeling us back in. Welcome back, Mo. Really appreciate you being on here. Of course, the diehard Runeterrable listeners will remember Mo from such episodes as episode number 20. I definitely remember that off the top of my head, not just reading the Discord group that never got deleted that we were all in from before. So.
That's just called Runeterrable episode 20? Yeah, true.
I was like, there's no way in hell you remember that.
Let me just go back in the archives and remember that episode. But no, it's been great. It's been a little while. And Mo, you've been kind of popping off lately with the Twitch and the YouTube and coaching and all that stuff. I see you popping up all over the place.
Yeah, shit's been wild, and it's been wild. I kind of just everything happened. I got invited to a fight night, graciously by Cass and Blevs. Did well. Since then, my numbers jumped drastically. Got invited back to another fight night about a month later. Went on a big run of a 3-peat, back to back to back.
True.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just been doing good. Dude, everything's exponential, it feels like. It feels like all growth in the entertainment business is exponential. It took me a full year to hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, and it took me about a month to hit 500 subs on YouTube. So it's like I made progress. It took me 6 months and 1 month this year.
Yep. Yeah, it's all exponential for sure.
It's wild.
It's exponential, and the hard work pays off, which is always awesome to see. So you love to see it, and you love to see the good guys win every once in a while, which is awesome. And speaking of the good guys winning, see, this is a pro transition right here. God, Saucy hitting up that, I was thinking about this actually, Saucy. Are you
Oh,
the
crap,
most
okay.
are you the most winningest Riot Grand Prix competitor? Because you
Yes.
got 3rd in the LOR one and 4th in the
Mhm.
TFT one?
Yeah, I took 4th in the TF. I was proud with my the what it is, if you didn't know, so the Riot does these monthly Riot Grand Prix for the people who are in the League Partner Program. And they rotate through their
OPP.
games. So they've done League of Legends, they've done Runeterra, and they've
Mhm.
done Teamfight Tactics. So I just did it. I competed in the TFT one against people who are all considerably better than me because they're all like TFT content creators. And I did all right. I took 4th and took home a little bit of cash. And I was pretty happy with how it turned out. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Well, and you also got 3rd in the LOR one a while ago.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah, I
remember. I'm
did.
pretty sure we talked about that. But
Mhm.
so you got you got 4th and 3rd. I was looking at it. I didn't see anyone in the top cut of both of those except for you. So
I'm just saying.
I
Now I've got
mean,
to. My next one is I have to take down League of Legends. So I'm looking for a League of Legends coach. I've played 5 games undefeated. I'm basically the
true.
best with Blevins. We've talked
That's
about
true.
this. Him
We
and I
we
are
are
the best.
undefeated bot lane champions.
Mhm. The problem with League of Legends, though, is I'm such a good player, obviously, because
Yeah.
I've never lost.
Right.
I'm 100% win rate. I don't want it's a team game.
Hey, we've
And the
won
problem with
3 to
team
5. We've
games-
won between 3 and 500 games together.
Yeah, exactly.
With
The
no
problem with
losses.
Team games is all these losers who have lost games are going to drag me down. How can I win with all of these people who haven't had a 100% win rate?
That's a great point. So you just
God.
gotta retire on top.
Yeah, it's true. And this is the last time you'll hear from me. I'm retired. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm helplessly addicted to Teamfight Tactics right now. It's bad.
I know you've been grinding, which is awesome, which is really cool to see. And then of course the Riot Grand Prix. I love the Riot Grand Prix things.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's just a cool thing. It's a way to give back to the community, the LPP, and the content creators who are really on the the front lines of content creation for the games. It's awesome to see that
Yeah.
and cool event.
Especially, yeah, Riot's pretty cool. I'm not gonna name any specific game companies, but there was another game company who did a similar thing, but instead of paying people who won, they charged people to compete in it. So it's nice to see Riot do the opposite, where they
Yeah.
pay their winners as a small indie company.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's awesome. And
Did you
shout out.
play TFT before this set,
I
Saucy?
played I played like 5 games in set 2. I played a pretty good amount in set 3.
Mhm.
And then I hadn't played in a while.
Hmm.
I really like 4.5. I like it.
So
I know most people don't. I get it, but I like it. I'm having fun.
Here's my question, Saucy, and I swear, Chad, I know no one wants to hear about TFT. Actually, people probably do want to hear
They
about
do. They
TFT. I have a question. Considering you did so well in the Grand Prix, and of course are now the resident TFT champion.
Yep.
Is Silas good? Silas any good?
Silas, he was so good they had to take him out of the game.
A joke that 3 people will get, 2 of which are on the call right now.
And they're gonna like it. But the one other
True.
person's gonna like it.
That is true.
So
Oh, no,
just
well,
force
actually, there's
matches.
probably 4, and one of them might actually be in chat, or was in
I'm
chat
thankful
earlier.
for TFT though, because it's like I don't have the league background that league people know, and so
Yes.
it's cool to know. Like now I understand when people are like, "Hey, what are your the Shurima champions you're
Mhm.
excited for?" Before I'd be like, "What the hell is that?
What is
the
a
hell is
Shurima?"
Shurima Ultra? I don't get it." Now I'm like, okay, I know these people like Azur, Nasus, all of these cool ones. I love them.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I basically got all of my world of Runeterra or Runeterra universe knowledge came from literal pre-season 1 League of Legends and then TFT and nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yep.
So good.
Mo, do you have an extensive League of Legends background that I don't know about?
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
I played League since like end of season 2, start of season 3.
Damn, you're an
all
OG.
through high school. Yeah, I didn't have many friends.
I was
And
gonna say, how
actually-
old were you when you started playing?
Fuck, I don't know, 12, 13.
That's
14?
crazy
However old you are
to
as
me.
8th grade going into a freshman.
Yeah, so that's like 13, 14.
26.
Yeah, 26. I don't know. But yeah, actually, so this is how weird it is. You know how sometimes people will ask professional players like, "Where would you be without, like
Yeah, whatever.
your
Yeah.
esport, whatever it
Yeah,
is?"
yeah.
And they like can say like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know." Real talk, I actually don't remember at all what I did with my life before I played League of Legends.
It didn't happen. Like that's the where you were start. That's like the start
Yeah.
of where you spawned
Like,
in.
I remember I played baseball when I was like a little kid,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
after between the ages of like 6 years old, I guess, and
Mhm.
like League of Legends, I don't know what I did for fun. Like, I don't know how I passed the time.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely an interesting thing to think about. Cuz like I mean, I'm I'm a little bit older than you, I would say. Considering you were 12 and League of Legends was released, that's not a thing I could say about myself. But like, when I was 7 years old, I don't remember what I did. I don't remember what I did for fun. Or like for me it was like basketball growing up. Like I don't remember really a time before I played basketball. I was playing basketball when I was in 5th grade. So it's like, I don't know, kickball maybe was what
Stick rock.
stick rock, kickball. Yeah,
Yeah.
kick. Back in my day, kickball was just a rock that you'd kick around.
We haven't had power the last 2 days at my house. I live in Texas, and I come to realize when I was streaming last night that I like appreciate electricity and stuff.
Yeah.
And on God, I don't know how people over the ages of like 28 did it. Like, how'd y'all have a childhood with no computers
Electricity?
24/7? Yeah.
I mean, we had
Before electricity was invented.
yeah, but,
20
all right,
years.
before electricity, yeah, old Tommy Edison gifted me my Super Nintendo, and
Yeah.
I was born at that point.
Yeah.
Might be
I think we all just
conflicting our
practice
time.
a lot of witchcraft. So,
Yeah, witchcraft is basically like electricity, magic, and not Magic the Gathering, magic like
No.
the
Magic.
dark arts.
No.
Magic?
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the show. So we have a new region icon looking thing on the cards.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about
that
this.
was was not a professional segue, by the way. That was
No, this is perfect.
we're jumping
This is
off
perfect.
a cliff.
I want to talk about this because
Yes.
there was a patch update. They fixed some stuff, blah blah blah, but they did change the way cards look. So if you haven't seen it, if you haven't logged in, I've had a lot of people today like, what the hell is that? They moved
Mhm.
the region icon on cards to the top right and like a little doodad. I did not think this was such a big deal. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It's a visual thing.
Yeah.
People have been fucking going crazy about this. What the hell? Like, I've seen rage. People, even on
Mhm.
like Discord, people raging, on Twitter, people raging.
Mhm.
Is it that big of a deal?
Yes.
Okay, Mo.
Go
I
on,
want
go
to
on.
hear this. I want to
Bro,
hear this.
okay. First of all, this is petty as hell.
I love it.
I want to let
I
y'all
love
know
it.
that.
Perfect.
You didn't need to say that because we know, but go on.
Second of all, for people that play this very fun game for 10 plus hours a day, it's distracting to have something
Oh.
so ugly on your screen while you're trying to like learn how to like play this game, especially when you like are used to cards already looking bad and then they just make them look worse. It's like super distracting.
No, I mean, hey, I agree with what you said. That definitely is petty.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem with that. I know a lot of people have a problem with that. That was the thing that I heard
Yeah.
from people who were like,
Yeah.
I can't focus on my game now because I have an icon in the top right corner. And I was like, oh, okay.
Here's what
Man,
I'll
you
say.
need to get better at. You need to get better at card game. You need to get better at playing a game. If like I suddenly
Yeah.
can't play because there's this small like.
Yeah.
It'd be like them changing the font, and all of a sudden, I don't know
Yeah.
what does Puffcat do?
Oh.
I didn't play Around Your Vengeance because of this icon in
Right.
the top right
Yeah.
corner of my card.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Like someone's gonna pop into your stream and be like, "Oh, I would have had that game if I wasn't distracted and played the Mystic Shot that I forgot what it did because of the region icon."
Yeah,
bro."
you can't even be like, oh, I missed my allegiance trigger because I didn't realize it was a Shadow Isles card. Like I looked at it and I couldn't tell,
Yeah.
so I didn't put the token in play. You can't even make that argument because the game
Oh
does
my
it for you. So this is what I'll say. everyone who right now, if you're listening to this right now and think that and are in agreement with the sentiment that we've heard and what Mo said, in a month from today, on March 17th, actually I think that might be St. Patrick's Day, but at some point after March 17th, 2021, just tweet at me and say, hey, I remember this, and I'm still so I'm still so enraged by this change that I feel the need to bring it up again in a month, because I guarantee you that no one fucking will.
Like, it is. I don't like where it was before either. The icon, like in the text box, like that annoys me because I don't like it when text runs through the on the icon and like it's hard to read. And someone in chat's even saying like on the Japanese cards the icons overlap with the text and it's like annoying.
Oh yeah.
So I could get it, especially for localization. I don't think it's pretty where it's at now, but it's like not a big deal to me either way. Like the cards still do the same thing. So
what I will say is that I believe now you can see the regions of the cards while they're in your hand, which you couldn't before unless you hovered over.
Yep.
That is a plus. I do agree with the overall sentiment, at least somewhat, that it looks kind of clunky. But that's as far as I would go. Like it kind of looks a little bit weird and clunky, like many UI or UX changes look, regardless of what they are, unless it's fixing something that was egregiously bad.
Yeah.
Almost every change looks clunky. I mean, it's the same thing with fucking Twitter and Facebook back in the day. Every single time they change the UI or UX, everyone is up in arms. Oh, this is so dumb. Change it back. This looks fucking stupid. It's awful. And a month later, literally no one is complaining anymore. No one, I have not seen anyone complain about the new Twitter since the week that it came out. Remember, everyone was complaining about how Twitter added stories like 2 months ago. No one is saying a goddamn thing about it anymore. No one cares. Everyone complains about the new thing every time it comes out. So again, if this is still an issue in a month, I urge you to tweet at us or tweet at me and say, hey, Blev, this is still a thorn in my foot.
Yeah.
I doubt it's going to happen.
It's like the first time. I've already gotten used to it just from playing for the past couple days. So it's like, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about it all, and obviously it doesn't actually matter to me. It's not going to affect anything. But the icon on the champion cards, I don't know if you guys have LOR open in front of you, but the way that it looks in the top right of a champion card, it blends in really well and actually like looks like it fits in the card.
Yeah.
The problem the thing that I think looks so weird is on the spells. It just like pops off of the border.
Yep.
And then and then again, this is like minuscule, but the minions, it just like doesn't fit in ever. It actually just like sticks out. And I don't know if it's because it is brand new, so it's something that you notice. But the champion, I think, actually looks really good. I like how it looks fine on champions.
And on landmarks, it looks pretty good too. I think it's fine where it is on landmarks. On spells, it is a little weird because it does like blow out of the card frame. I just think of it like in a Magic card, they just glue a fucking thing on like the corner of it and it pops off the card.
It's like they tried to actually like change a Magic card. They're like, oh, this card's too broken. It needs to be 3 green instead. Let me just glue
they just glued all the new packs that came out, just had an extra green mana symbol glued onto it. You love to see it.
If you pull the Tarmogoyf in this pack, could you please glue the new mana symbol onto it?
Your foil future sight Goyfs, I need you to glue on the green.
Yeah, thank you.
Take your value from.
I like this world we're in.
I mean, I absolutely love it. I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Saucy. Like, I was just surprised that people cared so much about it. Like, that's the weirdest thing to me.
Yeah.
Like one way or the other.
Yeah, and it's whatever, but it's like a visual change. People are like as mad as this as people were for like Hush and like Deny and stuff. Like, what? It's just like it doesn't affect the game at all.
I think
whatever.
I think players are just like conditioned now to see new patch come out and they're just ready to rage about something. And since there's no balance changes, you just had to rage about something.
Oh, this anger I've been building up.
That's the thing. You you're like ready to complain about something, so people like actively scan for leaks just so they can know what to complain about in advance.
Yeah. They
And then
can
if
write their
there's
complaints.
then if there's actually nothing to complain about, the default is always, man, they didn't ban TF. This game's trash.
Yeah, yeah.
That's always the default. It's just
Yep.
they didn't ban this champion.
Yep.
It's
Or
true.
they didn't nerf this champion.
It's true. It's very funny to see literally every single patch. Even though, like, for me, and I'm just in a little bit of a bubble. Maybe I just play like the right amount for me because like I've been having a lot of fun recently with like the TF Fizz type of meta. Like it was a little bit before it became like super rampant. Like probably when I hit master. So was it last week? It was coming into this week. My last reward, my last reward chest, I had like +6 on it. Like it was level 13 +6. So like I played a lot, and a lot of it was from the labs, which we'll talk about in a second. But like I hit master, and I felt pretty good and had fun playing the meta, mostly because I was playing TF Fizz and was winning a lot. But like I don't know, I felt like in a lot of these metas, I felt like I had fun. Even in like Lee Sin metas, I had fun and was feeling good. But people, you know, maybe if I played 10 times as much, which a lot of people do, it just it wears on people. But I don't know. I don't know.
That was the longest way. I feel like that was just the longest way for you to set up to tell everyone that you've hit masters, you got +6, and no matter what, you just never tilted and you're always having fun.
I do. I have
trying to see how many things you can rub into people's faces.
Well, Mo, to be fair, I didn't mention the fact that I recently hit 300,000 shards. I didn't bring that up, that I hit 300,000 shards.
Oh, yeah, when I was driving my Ferrari the other day, like I had to get in it, and it started my Ferrari that I own, and looked at my Runeterra account to see my 500 million shards and my rank 2 master that I hit, by the way, in the game. Me in my Ferrari that I was driving.
Yeah, I
don't
played
you just hate when like
I played
you
it
don't
on the
know which one of your iPhone 12 pluses you're logged into.
Dude.
No, I hit master on the touchscreen of my brand new Tesla. So
yeah,
it was really awkward.
I couldn't decide which of my vacation homes to stay at over this weekend.
On the real though,
super house.
On the real though, if you're playing in the seasonal this weekend, you need to make sure that you prismatic all of your decks, or else yeah.
If you don't, are you even playing the game?
Is that a law? Is that like a rule?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a rule for me. If you don't want to get shamed on stream, then you will make sure that you prismatic all your decks.
Oh, that's crazy. Y'all ever heard of this thing called Twitch Prime chat? That's crazy.
Shit, I need to make more money.
That is crazy. All right. Anyways, back to the show. I want to talk about the new Lab of Legends, which actually came out right. It came out the day we recorded last episode, so we didn't really get a chance to play it. I know, Saucy, you hadn't played it at all.
Yeah.
I had played a couple. But it's been about 2 weeks of the lab being out, and I wanted to get everyone's initial impressions on it. Saucy, I want to start with you because I know you've been playing it a lot recently.
I've been playing it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I love roguelike deck builder games to begin with. Like Slay the Spire is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
And this mode definitely has that. And all I want now is for them to keep like expanding on this and have it be a permanent fixture of the game, because I still am having fun with it. I've played it a little bit. It's a blast.
Mo, have you played the new labs at all?
That's crazy. So the way my LOR account is set up, right? There's this thing called formats, like tournament formats, and I checked and I just can't find a tournament format for Lab of Legends.
Oh, yikers.
I don't think there is, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. So
just go
my
full
manager
sweaty.
actually beats me if they ever catch me not playing competitive LOR.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's
Makes
like
sense.
a normal thing.
Yeah.
A spiked mace just like flies into your room.
Yeah, every time on stream someone says you should play Lab of Legends, I'm like, that sounds like fun, and then they just see me start sweating for no reason. I don't know why.
Sounds like fun, and then just a red laser dot just starts going down the screen and pointing at you.
Yeah, and then I'm like, on second thought, I'm actually having a lot of fun going 0-15 playing against Twisted Fate every game and rank.
You love to see it.
Do people play Twisted Fate right now? Is that a card?
I mean, I haven't really seen it that much, and I mean, if we're looking at the most recent Fight Night Legends tournament, which you can check out twitch.tv/GiantSlayerLOR, Cephalopod actually won and brought 0 copies of Twisted Fate,
So it
0
must not be a
copies of
good
Fizz.
card.
Clearly not good if it didn't
Who?
win.
Yep.
Just,
Cephalopod?
Who's that?
Never heard of him.
Anyways, my thoughts on the lab.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
I actually really liked it as well. I generally play the labs for the novelty of it, like or for quests, right? Like especially the prismatic quests, because you obviously have to prismatic out your entire collection.
Yeah.
Um,
Trash.
But I liked the jungle one because it was really different, but like playing the jungle one like more than like even like 2 or 3 times, it's like I'm kind of losing interest in it. And that's kind of how I feel about a lot of them. I thought the co-op one was all right. I thought the jungle one was all right, and some of the other ones were fine. I like that they're experimenting with like different ways to have the game cards act as like game pieces for a different game than traditional 1v1 LOR. But like I'd like them mostly for novelty. Lab of Legends I actually like as its own game. Like I'm in the same boat, Saucy. I love Slay the Spire. I love those like rogue like deck building games. I liked the the Hearthstone equivalent. The what are they called in Hearthstone? I forget.
Yeah. Whatever it was, like that was the mode I played the most in Hearthstone.
What were they called? Expeditions in Hearthstone?
Nax is out.
Nax is out.
Oh, is Nax out?
Not yet. Soon.
Oh, not yet. If someone in chat knows what the hell they're called, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I also can't believe that the Nax out meme is still around. Like that.
I thought they're called Tavern something, right?
Well, Tavern Brawls were like the weekly thing, but that's not even what I'm talking about. Dungeon Run, yes. See, Cephalopod, who we were just talking about, that won the recent Fight Night of it, which you can check out on twitch.tv/GiantSlayerLOR. One without Twisted Fate. Yeah. Dungeon runs. I like those because it's like you play the game, it's a little bit different. It's kind of the same. It's the same game, but it gives you, you've got different stuff going on. I really liked it. I liked that they had a lot of different weapons, and that it was actually like items to equip on the champions, and like there was actually a lot of variety, a lot more than I was expecting, given the like depth of the other labs. Yeah,
it was really cool, and like each time, like you can play them complete, especially because you get to like try different champion combinations and do crazy stuff. I've had some crazy fun, just lots of laughs, things that Mo would not like. So
what's the most broken thing you've done in Lab of Legends?
My Lulu run I did yesterday was really great. I think it was yesterday. I don't remember. All the days are the same. It had I had 2 of the. It starts with a 2-cost unit on board. And then I had Elise was my 2-cost unit.
Yes.
And she had like 5 different like keywords and had the evolution.
Yes.
So she got 1/1 for each keyword. So she had like quick attack, she had spell shield, like overwhelm, and like something else. So I started with 2 of them at the start of every turn. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. Okay, so
I have arguably and potentially the most broken thing that you can do in this. Although I have seen people who have like started the game with 5 or with 6 solutions in play, which I guess is just an instant win. I have seen that. So arguably not more powerful than that, but pretty close. So I had the 3-mana Demacia card that reduces the cost of all units in your hand by 1. So I can play that out on turn 2. I also had a Bilgewater, the Butcher, 1-mana Butcher, where and it had an item on it that when you played it, it would create an ephemeral copy in hand.
Okay.
Or not an ephemeral, a fleeting copy in hand.
Yeah.
It would create a fleeting copy in hand. So if you trigger the plunder on that, the way it works is it will create an exact copy, including buffs and augments on it.
Disgusting.
So I didn't realize this was going to happen. I just stumbled upon this, which is part of the fun of this lab, honestly,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like, I didn't even know that this was possible. So if I had Plunder triggered and I made the, why can't I remember the name of the card? The Butcher.
Jagged Butcher.
Jagged Butcher. God, I can't think of it. If I would make it cost 0 and it had Plunder. So I would play it as a 3/3. It would create a copy in hand. That copy was a 0 mana 3/3 Butcher. I would then play that copy. It would create in hand a 0 mana 4/4 Butcher.
Oh, get it every
You
went
can
infinite.
see where this is going. I literally went infinite with it. So I could have just gone forever, but like I on turn 2, because I would go turn 1 pass, turn 2, I could use the I could make it cost 0 and I could make it cost 0, and if I had 2 of them in hand I could do it. Or I could I guess I could, yeah, I could use a warning shot or something, right? And then just make infinite power. Which is
That's so
pretty
dumb.
which was pretty hilarious. Yeah. What's even funnier is I wasn't even expecting that to happen, because like a lot of times the cards
Yeah.
don't work like that, but they did for that, which is really cool.
I saw someone that did the when you played Katarina, it refills your mana. That was pretty cool.
Yes, I did see that one, which was another like infinite attacks one, which is pretty
Yep.
sweet. But
Yeah, it's
This
fun.
lab
It's-
sounds fun.
it
yeah,
is,
it's a lot of
it
fun.
really
You
is
should try
fun.
it. You should try it.
I wish I was allowed to have fun playing.
You gotta
LOR.
play on an alt account off stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
don't let your manager know.
I'll
Just
have
like
to make sure my
be-
manager doesn't see that.
be gone, make a new account. We could probably get you a second account.
My Smurf account actually got banned temporarily.
Yikes.
We'll make you a hidden one. It'll be called Not Mo. Then no one will
Yeah, it'll be called Definitely Not Mo.
This is not.
An arrow pointing to someone who's not Mo. There it is. We figured it out.
Yeah, I like it. That's great. I want to do more with it. So please
yeah.
do, Riot.
I
Please
do. I absolutely, if anyone from Riot hears this, you know, as someone who is relatively competitive focused in mind, I would love to see this mode fleshed out more. I want to see like expansions to it, more champions, more bosses. I mean, I just love that stuff. And like, you know, Slay the Spire, like you don't need to you don't need to, you know, remake the wheel, right? Like they have a lot of cool stuff in that. You know, there's you know, if you take different routes and stuff. I mean, they could do so much with it, right? It's just how much are they looking to do it. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it and had a ton of fun playing it, and it's one of the labs that I will always feel good about going back to. So
Yep. Love it. So okay, I think Mo fell asleep. Hey Mo,
I'm
are you
chilling.
Okay,
What?
cool. I knew you tuned us out for that.
yeah,
whole
just completely
conversation.
tuned out.
Yeah.
No, I was there. I heard you say you went infinite playing Katarinas, and Saucy said he went infinite stacking Nasus or something.
Yep.
Stacking
yep,
Nasus.
exactly.
Yep, that's yep.
Yep. Let's talk about something that Mo does care about.
But
Maybe.
I care about fun.
Okay, don't lie. You don't have to lie. It's fine. The ratings won't go up higher just because you lied. It's okay.
Oh,
It's
okay, yeah.
But if
Also,
you
I
had
think
an
Riot should just
arrow
remove
pointing
fun out
to
of
the
all their
truth,
games.
then maybe.
I thought they already had, right?
Well, I
Isn't
mean,
that what
they have, but they still advertise it as like, you know, this is a fun game to play with your friends.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If they stop lying to people and then just been like, nah, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna play with 4 random people for the next 45 minutes of your life, and we're gonna force you to enjoy it, I'd probably enjoy that more.
Blevins, do you know about? There's this thing coming up. It's like
What's that?
a seasonal something with.
Ah,
the game?
yes, the seasonal tournament for Cosmic Creation. It's coming up this Sunday. The qualifier rounds are coming up. It's gonna be fun. I know our boy Mo certainly was, you know, I think many people would have called him a top player to watch last seasonal, but then you know, almost didn't qualify. Mo, do you want to
Almost didn't qualify. I did qualify for those following the story at home.
But you almost
had to-
didn't.
I also should not have qualified through Gauntlet. My opponent had a really unfortunate series of events.
Hey, sometimes it happens. Sometimes
And my
it be like-
game, my game 7, I was playing Fiorishin versus Timo Zed, like elusive bird,
Mhm.
and I didn't play a single card for the first 3 turns. and I played a
Wow.
shit on turn 4, and my opponent went play the Kinku Allegiance Girl, miss.
Yep.
Play the Kinku Allegiance Girl, miss. And I was like, oh, okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
You're like, hey,
Back in it.
sometimes it happens.
You're back
They should
in
have
it.
built their deck better so that it would have hit Allegiance. That's not your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give a little more context to the story for people who don't know what's
Oh,
going
we
on.
didn't have to go that far.
So, you know, many people know I work for Wisdom, aka Giant Slayer, and we put on the production for the regional for the America's Shard, or technically for NA, and we do a lot of content for it. So I wrote the top 10 players to watch, and I of course included our boy Mo on it for the first one because he was like top 8 for the whole season, and then Mo in the last week leading up to the seasonal decided to lose literally every drop of LP he had.
800
Lost 800 LP
in the course of 3 days.
in 3 days. So I was sweating that night, watching your stream up until the point when it closed, and so that happened. But you did end up getting there, and you made it. But so this season, I featured some other players for the top 10, but I did actually I got a clip. So Mo doesn't know this, but I actually did have a live capture of his mic when he found out that he wasn't on the list, and this is what it sounded like. He thought I deleted the Blef baby, but it was there the whole time. I got him.
The long con.
The long con. Mo was asking about the Blef baby before the show, and I told him I took it away. So
I'm fine with not being a top 10 player on your list, but like, bro, you put Nick on honorable mentions.
What's wrong with that?
You put Nick above me.
Oh my god! It's not about being above or below. You don't. It's about showcasing people in the community, and technically you were in that article because you were in the original article, and I linked the first article. So think about it.
Big brain thinking right there. Yeah.
But yeah, so okay. All jokes aside, well, at least most jokes aside, those jokes aside, Mo, how are you feeling about this seasonal coming up? Are you doing anything different to prep? How are you feeling about it?
To prep, yeah, I decided to play 0 amount of ladder. It's probably the best decision I made to prep, so that way I actually qualify for the tournament. As far as prepping for the actual tournament, nah, I kind of just picked 3 decks. I was like, nah, the seasonal, that's what I always tell people. Like, I have 100 questions a day asking me, what is the perfect seasonal lineup? What should I bring for seasonal? What should I play against? What should I prepare against? And the answer is you have probably 150 players that play in tournaments, and then you have like 950 people that are going to play in this tournament just because like they got invited, I guess. And there's nothing wrong with that, like this game is meant to have fun, and this is a fun what they call it, community tournament, so it's fine. But the answer is just play like good consistent decks. So I just picked 3 decks that are consistent, that I made my matchup spread a little bit wider, target a couple specific things, but
it's definitely been a much talked about topic in a lot of the competitive discords, and talking about like matchup spreads and like how do I beat this deck if I want to target this deck, and like at the end of the day, like yes, you can only do so much, right? You can only work a lineup, and you can only do so much. At the end of the day, I mean, in a tournament such as the season, effectively single elimination, 1,000+ player tournament, it's really hard for your prep to be like, it's diminishing returns at some point, right? Like you can't. You can only do so much. So
I think that's actually a really, really valid point that I don't hear enough people making, is like not everyone who's playing are tournament players or tournament grinders. Like since it is the way that it works is people just can get into it, right? And a lot of people are just, people that play ladder a lot, or people
Yep.
that are just good at the game. So not everyone's thinking at that high of a level of like the specific lineups countering
Right.
specific what. A lot of people are
Right.
like, I like these 3 decks, I'm playing these 3 decks.
Exactly. And that's the biggest problem people have is overthinking it and like a
Mhm.
literal sense of like out like next leveling themselves.
Yep.
Yep.
Because if you were to go to a tournament right now, if you told me I got invited to a 32 person invitational with the 32 best players, I would know exactly what everybody is going to bring. I would know
Yeah.
exactly what I
Right.
need to bring. But that's because those 32 players are probably good. They probably know what the meta is. You know what they're going to do because there is a meta. There's a tournament
Yeah.
meta. But there is no such thing as like a meta with 900 random people that you've
Right.
never played against in your life. You've never
Yeah.
met some, like a third of these people are coming in through Gauntlet, so they might not even be in Masters. So you've like
Right.
literally never played against them in their life. And they just like want to show up because they can and have fun. So they're gonna bring their decks that they enjoy. If people enjoy playing aggro, fuck it. They're gonna bring
Yeah.
Yeah.
discard aggro, triple aggro, and just like destroy some of these greedy lineups. And people
Right.
are gonna get mad. They're gonna be like, oh, I played against a dirty gauntlet player that brought triple aggro, and that's not how you're supposed to play tournaments.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
all this other shit.
No, I remember like a long time ago, back when I was playing competitive Hearthstone, my very first DreamHack event I went to, I so over prepared and so overstressed my lineup. I didn't
Mhm.
sleep the night before and played the first day fatigued because I was so stressed about the perfect lineup. I was the guy like, as we're sitting there in the halls, everyone's like submitting their lineups, and I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, I need to change this one specific card because what if one person, and like I
Yeah.
almost didn't even I almost missed turn-ins for it because I was so
Cephalopod?
stressed out about it. And yeah, just don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't do that.
Yeah, who would ever overthink of a card they need to put into their deck and then mischeck into the biggest tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would
Weird.
do that?
Really
I
weird.
don't know. I mean, at least like, if someone were to do that, they probably aren't very good, or they would like never make a top 10 list or anything like that. I would think.
No, definitely not.
Well, if you want to
No.
hear a story of such things, maybe check out the brand new top 10 players to watch for the seasonal over at the Giant Slayer LOR blog.
Yep.
We,
No,
If
I like that.
if you guys had to pick one person, or so if you had to pick one person to think that it's gonna win the seasonal, who would you say? Or you can also guess like someone you don't know, like a random person.
I mean, I literally wrote an article with the top 10 with my top 10. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to see how many times I can get you to say that.
oh, okay.
How many times are you gonna plug your
How many
article?
times?
Oh, okay. So I actually, if I really had to list out 10, I'd start. No, on the real though. So a couple of things that to kind of talk about some of the things we've been mentioning. I believe, if I recall correctly, there were 2 players that made the top 32 last seasonal that were from Gauntlet. So it was mostly Master players, but 2 were from Gauntlet, and 1 player wasn't even in Master, which is kind of crazy.
I believe they were silver.
Yeah, silver. A silver player made it to top 32, which honestly is kind of cool for this type of event, right? Like, it's the way I think of it is like the whole like World Series of Poker thing. It's like you just need a chip and a chair, right? And like, yes, we see a lot of players in an event like the World Series of Poker that are consistent performers, but like in an event that large, which the seasonal is kind of akin to, outside of the game itself, like in the game, there is luck involved in an event like this. This is not the Legends of Runeterra World Championship where we've been qualifying for this, that, or the other. Yeah. We don't know if that's ever going to happen or not, but like this is not, at least as far as we know, this is not what the seasonal is. This is more of a like a showcase, and anyone can win or anyone can get there type of thing, which I think is really cool.
It's very much a community tournament, and if anything, that their very first seasonal, last seasonal, showed off how much of a community tournament, how much of a success it is, having the fact that you did have a silver player make it to top 32.
Yeah.
With like their 4 fun decks. I don't remember the exact lineup, but I'm pretty sure that was the same person that brought like Ezreal Trundle.
Yeah,
probably.
like,
It's
that's a-
possible,
that's
or
a-
it's possible that was Jay Sensational because they also brought some silly lists too, which is
That
fun.
guy's
True,
kind of
true.
weird though. So.
No, like that's important to think about too. It is like Blevin said, there is luck involved, especially with a spread this wide,
Yeah.
this many people, this large of an event. Like you can queue into like your worst matchups. You could like there's a lot
Mhm.
that happens, and it is a card game. Card games inherently do have some form of luck and RNG. Like it's not this is the best players like the true test of skill. Like for something like that, it has to be a smaller, like 16, 32 person tournament. Like that's when you can nail that down. So yeah, like I agree that you would have there's gonna be people that build tournament lineups like I do and just bring janky dumb bullshit. Like
Yeah, but then
that,
top 3 the Riot Grand Prix.
yeah. That's why like my lineup was janky bullshit. I brought all meme decks. Like it was just dumb, stupid stuff. And like I remember it was I was playing against Alan, and I think it was on his stream. He's like, "Wow, Saucy has some unique decks. Like I don't know what to do against it because like I just brought random shit. I had all Teemo decks, like or like when I was planning, I built my whole lineup around Teemo.
Yeah.
Like which Teemo deck, and then I'm like, which decks can I play that don't have Teemo?
Right.
So like, I just built stupid shit.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think how do you guys feel about the format of seasonal tournaments?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you feel about the 1,000-person to entry, single elimination, 5-0, like 10-0? Such having, I don't know, maybe having such a wide, like, possibility to enter.
I think so. I think in general that it's an. I actually what I'll say is I can't comment on it. is what I'll say about that. In general, yeah, I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah, me too. I can't comment.
What do you think about it, Mo?
I think it is an amazing community tournament.
And what do you really mean? What is the real meaning?
So I think it's an amazing community tournament, and I love this style of tournament if like they make competitive tournaments.
Yeah.
Right.
If this is their attempt at competitive tournaments, a couple people probably need to go back to the drawing board. But if this is supposed to be their like community tournament, which is what they've advertised it as, or they've never once advertised this as like as a competitive tournament, not once.
Right.
They've never once said this is how you're qualifying to the Pro Tour. There's a single elimination, like 1,000-person tournament, and I think that's amazing. Like I think this is an amazing way. Like you have these miracle stories of silver players making top 32. But I also feel like it can only go so far without there being some sort of competitive scene or competitive tournament or world tour or series or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very commonly held position, and the way I see it as, without specifically talking about the Riot format that we have for the seasonals currently, it feels kind of like an MTG Grand Prix. I mean, 1,024-person Grand Prix would be like a medium big, right? I think.
Yeah, it'd be like closer to medium.
Yeah, it'd be like a medium-sized Grand Prix, which like.
Yeah.
But also the thing about Magic is like generally the metagame is more honed in than in Runeterra.
Sure.
There's
much more.
There are two to three decks that you can expect people to play.
Yeah, and also another thing that now that I'm thinking about back to the old competitive days and playing in Grand Prix, I prepped differently when I had 3 buys versus when I had 0 buys.
Oh yeah.
Like those first 3 rounds, those are, even though technically they should be the easiest rounds, those are like you're kind of like you're potentially stepping on a landmine, right? Like
you're playing some weird ass kid with his mono slivers deck.
I was gonna say you've got like everything from they bought the pre-con starter deck from the vendor and are playing for their first time to like no sleeve deck. To like they're playing their only wins with a 10 card combo, but you have no answers to that because that's not a real deck, right?
Right.
Dude, those are some of the hardest things. I remember it was and it happens in every format. This is a legacy tournament
Mhm.
in Star City Games Legacy. So Legacy is,
Mhm.
all the cards. It's usually very expensive decks.
Very.
But there was a dude who was playing, and it was technically a legacy deck just because it was his old deck he played before, and it was random janky bullshit stuff. And I'm over here playing. I think it was Reanimator, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like it was just like bears and random shit.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's it's tough. So I think, if we have like, if we look at this as kind of like a Grand Prix in that sense, I think that the seasonal, if you look at it through that lens, it feels better. Now, I think it would feel even better if there was like a seasonal type event in game every weekend or something that would make the the sting a little bit less of like, oh, I did all this, I qualified to top 32 and lost in the first round, or like I qualified, got top 700 master and lost in the first round, or lost in the fourth round or whatever, right? Or lost in the the
Right.
last round before, because that feels that's what kind of feels bad, because this is the this is the pinnacle of official Riot, official Riot events, at least for NA. So I definitely feel that for sure, and I think here's hoping is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just I just think what they're doing great, and the the one like I guess complaint that I have in air quotes is that their tournament tab, what is it? Their like in-game tournament
Yeah.
overlay
Yeah.
thing that they have is so like beautiful, and it works so nice. Like it's
Yeah.
so flawless that why are we only using this thing once every 2 months?
Right.
Why are we not like? I know you guys played MTG, maybe played MTG online, but
Yeah.
they have those little like what do they used to call them? Like arenas maybe, or like basically little 5-round tournaments where you would play 5
Leagues.
rounds, hope to go
Leagues.
like 3-2 leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, why can't like use it for something like that where you can just play in like a mini league or something, or give us more like that would give you more practice for competitive and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
do something that uses this like super beautiful and well functioning like tournament tab you have going on.
Yeah. I mean, again, here's hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
They could use that for so many things. It's a really good. Yeah, they needed to use it for more. I agree.
Yeah. Anything else that anyone wants to say about the seasonal or talk about the seasonal?
When I win, this is to all of the big CEOs that watch your guys' podcast.
Mhm.
CEOs, COOs,
There's
all
many.
those.
There's many.
There's many O's. When I win, my price goes way up. And I'm looking at you, 100 Thieves.
True.
My price to sign goes way up. Like,
100
I'm talking,
Thieves LOR. The 100 Thieves LOR manager needs to get in contact with Mo
with my
ASAP.
manager.
Yeah.
Yep. And
And we
it's
can
it's an exponential increase too.
Yeah, I mean, we're going from like the 20s to like the, $100 a month type deals.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're even that's like different sized bills. Like if you're
Yeah.
clicking currency, you can't even like that is insane. That's a crazy.
Wait,
So,
different sized bills?
Yeah.
Wait,
different
how
sized
big do you
bills.
think money is?
Yeah, money isn't that like so like 20 is like this big.
Saucy, man.
Like
Those
100 is a bigger one, right?
Those big
I mean, I
checks
don't.
aren't real,
I can't.
man.
I
You
can't
cash those big checks.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we've
but-
dream crushed Saucy.
They have an actual check on the back of those.
I don't know how money works. If
He only knows shards.
I only know shards.
I
It's
only
true.
know. I go to pay for like my Grubhub driver gets here. I'm like, do you take champion wild cards?
Oh man, I would love to pay for Chipotle and Champion wild cards. That
I mean,
would
it
be.
works for me, so
Yep.
I don't know.
I can't spend my shards. I need my shards forever. I would definitely spend Champion wild cards though. Oh, one last thing. I'm casting the original, the round of 1,000 players, the qualifier rounds with Boulevard. That's not a big deal though.
Wait, what? Why was that not the headline? What?
Oh, I mean, it's happening. I'm casting the rounds with Boulevard. We're casting on Sunday for the top the qualifier rounds, which will be on Twitch.tv/Giant Slayer LOR. So
Yep.
check.
It's gonna be if you like listening to Blevin's voice, even more than you have to listen to it on the show. And Boulevard. We just had Boulevard on.
Yes,
So
Boulevard was our previous guest. Which reminds me, if you are playing in the seasonal and want to get featured, stream your games, because that's how we have to pull it. The original rounds aren't going to be. We're not able to cast from in game, so we're going to be pulling streams. So stream your games and reach out to either me or Casanova with your stream so that we can get you on there. So, yeah, shameless plug, but we want to be able to feature people, especially people who are in the community that we know. Otherwise, we're just going to be hounding people on Twitch and looking all over the directory for it.
what time is that? What time is that happening?
Oh, yeah, I definitely know that off the top of my head. I think it's
Awesome.
4 Eastern, I think is when it starts, or 3 Eastern maybe. Sometime in the afternoon. I think it's like 4 to 10 Eastern, so probably like 1 to... It's probably around noon to 1 Pacific is when it starts.
You have no idea. That's fine. You could just say that. It's okay.
That's my best guess is all I'm going to say.
Cool.
It's
Perfect.
Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
Sunday. You have people coming to your channel at 12:01 a.m. It's Sunday, bitch.
It's Sunday. I was told to be here.
I was told to be here on Sunday. Yeah, it's at one of those times. You know how it is. Yeah. Can we get a
You
trivia?
can always just give a random number and be like, I didn't say what time zone. I just said 2.
Yeah, that's true. It's basically any time. I do that. I do that so often.
Honestly, smart. Just smart. Okay, it's definitely at. Yeah, I got 4 to 10 Eastern is what I'm being told. So yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Might be earlier, might be later, who knows? But that's what I'm gonna be there for. So
Saucy,
check it
do you have
out.
something you want to say?
No, but Mo, were you raising your hand? Did you have something you needed to say?
Did you have something you wanted to say?
No,
Saucy?
go. You can go first. You can go first.
I was just clicking buttons. Oh, Blevins had something he
Oh
wants to say.
nope, sorry. I just wanted to click the button
Perfect.
too.
We're using this new version of a stupid broadcasting audio thing.
Because it's
got this dumb
marginally
feature
better
where
than
you can
Discord.
raise your hand and it moves your webcam like up and bounces
Yeah,
and
like,
shit so that people can see
boom,
you.
boom,
No one else
boom.
thinks this is funny but us three because no
Yeah,
one else thinks
it's the most meta thing possible. That's pretty much been the whole episode, honestly, if I'm being completely honest. Speaking of meta,
meta.
what's the meta like, Mo? How you been liking it? Have you been loving it, hating it? Other?
Played much Twisted Fate?
On God, get Twisted Fate out of this game. Twisted Fate's fine, actually. I mean, he's a nice champion. I think what Twisted Fate does is actually perfect. I think every champion should be like Twisted Fate. I think a champion should be extremely strong.
Mhm.
I think a champion's leveled up form should be game impacting. Like,
Yeah.
should, potentially close the game or have a huge impact on the game. I think that's what I expect out of champions.
Yeah.
I just don't expect that out of champions on turn fucking 4, bro.
Yeah.
I leveled a Twisted Fate on turn 4 today.
Wow.
I believe it.
And
Hey.
I'm like, how is this? Yeah, I had double stress testing, triple rummage in my hand.
Oh, that'll. I mean.
And don't get me wrong, that's a high roll as hell hand, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not average.
Sure.
But still, like that, my game was determined on turn 4.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, and the thing is, like, that's a high roll hand, but leveling TF on turn 5 is not a high roll hand. It's very much not a high roll hand.
Yeah, it's not that hard to do.
And that's like the problem, right? Is that you have this game-ending, game-defining champion that essentially determines the outcome of a game on turn 5, potentially. Like, it's interesting. Oh, overall, it's not that bad. Mainly, honestly, the best champion in the game right now is Boxtopus.
True.
It's a really good champion. It's so
Ring the
tough.
fucking bell.
Yeah.
God, yeah, it's so funny how actually degenerate that card is when its stats are full and it comes out for free. It's so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my power back last night for a brief moment, and I was watching a bunch of different Twitch streamers because that's what you do when you finally get your power back.
True.
And I had 3 people open at the same time. And I won't leak them because I don't want to embarrass them in front of all, like, whatever. This is gonna get like 3 million plays.
Yeah.
So I don't want to out them in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But I had like bad deja vu. I clicked on one Twitch streamer It was turn 3. He was having a Boxtopus summoned by Crescendum, and he
Uh-huh.
looked very upset.
Uh-huh.
I switched to the next one. He had a Crescendum summoning a Boxtopus on turn 3. He looked like he was about to cry.
Uh-huh.
I switched to the third streamer, and he also had a Crescendum summoning a Boxtopus for him on turn 3.
Yep.
And
Yep.
all 3 of those guys looked so miserable.
Yep.
And they were just like, yeah, well, I guess this is the game now. I guess I have to like 3-for-1 myself here to get back board state.
Yeah. It's
It's good. It's, a good thing to do.
it's definitely good. I'm just wondering, because like at the Twisted Fate, you can kill it with a Mystic Shot, which I
Can
think you maybe, but I think this kind of goes back to one of the endemic, not problems, but one of the endemic, I guess, kind of design choices that Runeterra has made, which is removal is expensive and sometimes clunky and sometimes mana inefficient. Champions are generally not those things. They are generally mana efficient. They're like very vanilla test, like they ace vanilla tests usually. Twisted Fate I ironically doesn't, considering that he's who we're talking about here. But like I tend to struggle with Twisted Fate in the current meta because on the one hand, I think a lot of times what people complain about a thing being too strong, but they also aren't like Twisted Fate is super strong and levels up super quick, but also I'm not running anything to deal with Twisted Fate. That sort of mentality, I think, happens a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, there's only so much you can do. And I feel like, you know, you kind of pointed out, Mo, that, like, it's not necessarily the Twisted Fate itself that is the problem. It's the fact that you have pick a card, rummage, stress testing, guiding touch, you know, all these cards that are efficient and draw you a ton of cards, something that you're already wanting to do, right?
Right.
And like they all like smooth out the Twisted Fate experience. We're like, yeah, you can maybe kill Twisted Fate with a Mystic Shot, but like even if you're running the Mystic Shot, you sometimes don't draw it. They sometimes have an answer to it. And like all of these things, just like when you look at it over a large enough sample size, it's like you can't actually play around Twisted Fate like that. It's too much.
A very big I don't know if it's called a problem. I don't want to call it a problem.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like the game is broken.
Right.
To some extent. But this is something that actually Boulevard, that I've talked to with many people in the like competitive LR community, and Boulevard actually tweeted about it. So I don't know if you talked to the same people or not, but he was actually spot on. Where LOR has this thing, the way it's designed, where, like you said, removal is not very efficient for mana cost. Because, you know, right, once you be able to play your champions, you don't want to be able to like play your big ass Trundle or Tryndamere and then get out tempoed by like a 2-mana removal spell.
Right.
And then so the way it deals with that is Runeterra is a very much a combat based game with a lot of combat tricks. A lot of stuff is dealt with during combat, but you have this problem when the best champions of the game, or these champions that are really good, are what are considered backline champions, which means they are never attacking, they're never blocking. So now all of the combat parts that you're supposed to have to make your combat tricks work to kill them, you know, like your riposte, your sharp sights, all this stuff is literally ineffective.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, all of your save spells cost just as much as the cheap, if not cost just as much as the removal spells, if not they are cheaper and better than the removal spells. So for instance, if you want to Mystic Shot my unit, then I can just like Sunblast Vigor. I spent the same amount of mana, except now my unit's not dying.
Right.
Or if you want to spend 7 mana on a Vengeance, I have a 4-mana Bastion. So I'm paying almost half the cost. And not only did I keep my champion from not dying, but it's now bigger. And it now is like more of a threat.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely I struggle with these types of things, because I agree. I mean, that's all just statements of fact, right? Like that's all just true. And like, because I struggle because on the one hand, that's 100% true, but I also like, I tend not to look at the game as it is today as like the developed meta. And I don't know if that's it's tough to equate because usually Magic, it's like, okay, the way I think of it is like, and maybe I'm going back a few years because I have no idea how the fuck standard works in Magic anymore, how
Yeah,
set
who knows?
rotations
No one
work. But
knows.
back in the old days, it was a standard rotation was 2 blocks, which were 3 sets, so 6 sets plus the core set. So there's generally 7 sets. Sometimes there's an extra one in there. So like between 7 and 8 sets in a standard, a like complete standard rotation. But that full standard rotation is only like, I don't even know what the numbers are, but like 60 to 75% of is only around 60 75% of the time, because there is a time like Reddit rotation where like there's only the first set of the second block out. So there's actually only 5 sets instead of the full 8, right? And I think, to me, I almost always feel like Runeterra is kind of still at the like 5 of 8, not the 8 of 8, if that makes sense. Because like we don't have all the regions yet. We don't have like, we've had nothing rotate. I don't think we're anywhere necessarily near rotation or not. I have no idea. But like we don't have all the regions in the game. There's obviously a lot more champions that are going to be coming out. A lot more cards are going to be coming out. We don't have any sense of what a rotation may or may not look like. So for me, I had to balance it between like, yes, Twisted Fate is really strong right now, or insert X champion is really strong right now, versus like, well, what if when Shurima comes out, there's like a bunch of things that deal with that. I have no idea, right? But like when I think if when every region in the game is out, or like Riot says this is what a standard rotation looks like, when that is fully out, then I'm more prone to be like, okay, well, Twisted Fate is a real problem right now. Let's deal with him and change him. So, but then also like you have to work with what we're given now too, right? So that's where I struggle.
And that's why I think Riot's actually doing an amazing job with their balance patches.
Yeah.
I think other than probably Go Hard, and the only reason I'm gonna mention Go Hard is just because it was just outclassed every other card for so long. Was the main problem. It wasn't just that like it was really good. I think we had that patch for like literally 4 months, almost 4 months, something like that.
We had it for a while, but we had it for a while, but also was that over the holiday too? I think
it was
part
over
of
the
the
holiday
extension.
and stuff
So
like that.
yeah,
So it's reasonable. I'm not saying like burn Riot to the ground or anything.
Yeah.
But aside from that, and then that taking so long to come into effect, everything else has been fine. Because what happens is you're gonna go through and nerf all of these cards, and like we are literally seeing it right now, and it's happened already. As they go through and they nerf a card that's maybe ahead of its time or too good at the time, and then they never like back buff things. Like they haven't gone back and rebuffed like Badger Bear to be a 4/4, or make a Shadow Assassin to be like a 2/2 again, or a 2/1. Like it'd be perfectly fine as a 2/2 now. If it was a 3-mana 2/2 elusive draw card, it'd be perfectly fine. I mean, we have a 2-mana 1/2 elusive. I think. The problem is that it was for sure ahead of its time and too good at the time. But if they go through and they nerf every card people want them to nerf when they want them to nerf it, then eventually they're going to have like a bunch of patches in a row where they're either going to go back and just rebuff everything, which will, balancing cards is already a mess, or they're just going to leave them like nerfed forever and we're just never going to see them again.
Yeah. It's yeah, I mean, I've said this many times, I don't envy the position of, Steve Rubin and team. They've got a tough job.
No, and it's really tough, like, especially when people's complaints don't line up with the data. Like, there's a lot of times where people bitch and complain about something for whatever reason. I read a Reddit post, or X streamer said thing, so therefore thing is correct. And like the data does not back that up at all. Like when someone's like, this deck has like an 85% win rate, like, okay, let's hold on now. Like, so it's tough. It's very tough, especially, balancing based on the way something feels when you lose to it versus is it really that good. It's tough. It's a hard position to be in.
Yeah, and we're also going to get to the point, that actual League of Legends is currently in, or has been in for quite some time, where there's like, there's over 100 champions in the game.
Yeah.
So like, and they actually Riot actually made in not the most recent patch, but I believe it was the previous patch where they wrote basically like, hey, the first few weeks after, the first few patches after new cards come out, we're going to focus on those cards, and like making sure that they're in a good spot. Well, in 2 years, if Braum is seeing no play, are we gonna see these like maybe they're like a quarterly or something patch where it's like we're gonna revisit Braum and Vlad and the Darius
The
or whatever.
TF we nerfed because everyone was
The TF we nerfed 2 years ago, right? We're like, which is really cool, honestly. That we have the ability to do that because you think like old Magic sets, with the exception of like the obscenely broken cards, like 90+% of old Magic cards are just actual chaff, right? Like Shivan Dragon, one of like so many people's like iconic favorite card from when they were young. Like it's just a 6-mana 5/5 flyer, completely like not even necessarily playable in limited. Like maybe all right in limited, but like not actually a good card at all.
Yeah,
we can go back and make that a good card all of a sudden, which is really cool to think.
Yeah, no, so. It's one of those. I mean, there's so many things that's like a blessing and a curse.
Right.
One, because we're in it's a fully digital card game, so we have the ability to change stats around, change cards around. We're in Magic. I mean, this just happened this past week. There was a huge banning.
Massive.
And one of my buddies, like, I just literally lost like over $1,000 in card value because of all these cards that were banned. So like we don't get the bannings, but because they can do that, people then expect them to do that whenever anything becomes out of line. So it's tough. It's hard to balance.
I remember when BNRs weren't nearly as bad. Like Jace was the first like standard banned card. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, did you hear that Jace got banned? Like that's so crazy, it got banned." And now we have 15 cards getting banned.
I think I've told this on the podcast before, but Jace literally got banned the week after I bought Jace's on eBay.
Oh no.
Which I was in college and like it was devastating for me. But neither here nor there. Yeah, I think we're in a great spot, but it's certainly going to be tough. And at the end of the day, the kind of the point I'm making is like, I think just as a community, we can be a little more, we can think a little more critically, and I think look at the bigger picture a little more is how I try to look at it. Because like, I mean, there's some things that are certainly very powerful, and there's no doubting there, but I feel like we speak as a community in absolutes way more than we should. But
for sure. I mean, you have people like the worst part is like, I feel like they actually do try really hard. And
100%.
For the most part, I think it's going really well. If you ask a lot of people that play the game in a competitive sense, they'll tell you that the game is actually like not bad or not nearly as bad as like people think it is. But the majority of players are not the like competitive players that have like an actual like huge grasp on, I guess, how the game is supposed to be played.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it's like they know how to deal more with the things like the unyielding spirits and stuff like that. Whereas a good portion of the players that don't play this game 15 hours a day and know exactly how it is supposed to be played. Like I go through the 1-star reviews. It's kind of off topic. 1-star reviews on LOR all the time because it's really funny. And there's just this portion. I had to have been right when Bilgewater dropped, because there's this portion where 17 1-star reviews in a row were just about unyielding spirit.
Yeah.
And it just cracked me
so
up.
Funny.
Yeah. I always love those. I mean, we see it all the time. If you ever go through Reddit for some reason, don't do that. But if you ever look at Reddit, it's always the same stuff. And I mean, we see it in Discord. There's the complaint of the week. So
So I mean, it's fun, and like I like people being engaged in the community one way or the other is always good. But at the end of the day, like just think critically. Put it out there. But all right, I don't want to get too off topic here. We're also pretty much out of time. We covered a lot here. Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot going through this episode. Mo, thank you so much for being on the show, buddy. We love having you on, and we're glad to have you back. The floor is yours now. sell out, shout out, do what you will. Tell the people where you can be found.
What's poppin'? So my Twitch is twitch.tv/emotional. It's EMOETIONAL. It's emotional, but you spell it MOE like Mo, because I'm funny.
I get it.
And then Twitter is
Oh.
Mr. Emotional, and YouTube, I believe, is also Emotional or Mr. Emotional. So yeah, just type in emotional, and if that doesn't
It'll
work,
get there.
no, whatever.
Try
Go
Mr.
watch Mogwai or something.
Yikers. But
like
yeah,
that. I
thanks
like that.
again, Mo, for coming on. Saucy, I know we're on your channel today, but where can people in podcast land find you when you're not here on the show?
Yeah, you can just check out my website, saucy.live, and that will give you all of my contact info.
Nice. Well, you can find me on Twitter at @the_Blevins, and you can also find me casting most Fridays, and specifically this Sunday, twitch.tv/GiantSlayerLOR. And yeah, let us know what you thought of the show and all that good stuff. And also, if you want to be a super cool person and get access to the all of our off-topic episodes and all that cool stuff, you can head over to patreon.com/Runeterrable Radio. You can also, the best place just in general is discord.me/Runeterrable Radio. That is just the best Discord ever, best community, all that good stuff. Huge facts for sure. I think that's it. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Thanks everyone in chat for keeping us company. Thanks again, Mo, for coming on. But for Mo, for Saucy, I'm Blevins. See you all in a little bit. We'll talk about some more Legends of Runeterra. See ya! Wow.